Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And oh boy, the C-band results are here. I did tell a few people that they were going to come today. I just didn't know at what time exactly. But I've been hearing that the results were going to be released today. Ladies and gentlemen, the wireless landscape as we know it today has completely changed. There is now what I believe is sufficient mid-band spectrum in the market space for all carriers to have a competitive network. Will some be better than others? Yes, that's going to happen. But I just wanted to make this video. This will be a brief video, won't be a long one. There's plenty to unpack, plenty to recap over the next few days, plenty podcasts to be on. What I really wanted to discuss today is some numbers. Now, I don't have the exact numbers on me, but the three numbers that are most important, because Dish didn't spend nothing. Forget Dish. Get them out of here. They're done. Forget Dish. Dish spent $2.5 million. Yeah, you heard that right. Million, not billion. Dish, Charlie Ergen, just go. Just be gone. Just sell that spectrum you got. Get your money. Go. Get out. Get out. You're done. You're 2.5 million. You should have stayed home. But again, the three numbers that I wanted to make most important: Verizon, $45 billion, AT&T, $24 billion, T-Mobile, $9 billion. I'm just rounding down, rounding up. It was like, I think Verizon was like 44.4 or something like that. Again, massive spending. Verizon spent double, they got double. That's how it breaks down. It's very simple. They got 160 megahertz nationwide. AT&T got 80 megahertz nationwide, which is fine. T-Mobile got 30. They did not get nationwide. They got 30 megahertz in strategic markets, according to the maps. So they did not go nationwide, which wasn't anticipated anyway. They weren't anticipated to go nationwide here with this spending. They spent $9 billion. I think they did well. They got 40 megahertz in New York. They got 40 megahertz in El Paso. They got 40 megahertz in LA. They got 40 megahertz in Cleveland. In some of the bigger markets, they got more. In some other smaller markets, they got less. But regardless, they competed. They competed for the spectrum. They wanted to maintain their spectrum leadership, so they competed. Again, the Verizon spending is likely going to throw T-Mobile off. They spent heavy. They spent big. I anticipated Verizon to spend, but not like this. So to kind of break it down, there's kind of two sides to this story. Verizon won the entire A block. They did not split it with AT&T officially. They won the A block in the entire top 46 PEA markets. But on the back end, there was a deal struck. Verizon's going to allow AT&T to use 40 in starting when it clears at the end of this year. Again, maybe somebody felt bad for somebody or somebody complained, but AT&T is going to get 40 megahertz. They will likely be hit with a fee for it. They're either going to have to lease it or they're going to be hit with paying 40, 50% of the clearing cost for the spectrum. That's how Verizon's going to make some money on this. And then in 2023, that spectrum will go back to Verizon. So, yes, AT&T will have some next generation spectrum in their network, but it's going to go back to Verizon, and Verizon made it very clear. They put their pedal to the metal. If this deal wasn't struck behind closed doors, AT&T would have had no next generation spectrum to deploy until the end December of 2023. So just let that sink in terms of how aggressive Verizon competed in this spectrum auction. What does this mean going forward? I just want to talk on a few more things. Verizon spends, they deploy heavy. They deploy this heavy. They roll this out at scale. Will it be on every site? No, of course not. It's going to take some time to scale. But they will have a network unlike ever seen before. Verizon anticipated this. Why did they not purchase any spectrum in the 2010s and 11s, 12, 13, 14, 15s? Because they chose densification over spectrum. Somebody within Verizon decided to say, hey, look, higher frequency is the future, and their tower grid is dense enough for it now. They've been heavily densifying for mid-band since 2016, 2017. They are out densifying T-Mobile, so to speak, if that's even a word. They have more density here in El Paso. They're starting to build more density in New York City, LA. It's happening. They've literally invested towards that. And that's not just including macros. Of course, the C-RAN play a major factor in this as well. So you may ask, is this a two-carrier 5G race? Maybe. It depends on how you view it. Will AT&T compete? Yes, they will compete. They will continue expanding coverage via FirstNet. They will likely, again, not official, but they're likely going to densify beyond what Verizon and T-Mobile are going to do just to combat this. So in areas where Verizon can go on and add 100 megahertz to a site and be okay with in terms of capacity, AT&T will likely have to go to that same area and add 30 C-RAN. So that's kind of where AT&T stands right now. I wish they would have competed more heavy. Some of you may see this as a ridiculous negative, because now you could speculate AT&T has less spectrum, mid-band spectrum, than T-Mobile and Verizon. They already have 1,000 megahertz less millimeter wave than T-Mobile, and even more less millimeter wave than Verizon. So again, should AT&T have competed for more spectrum? Sure. I wouldn't disagree with you, but they felt comfortable at bidding for 80 megahertz. Was there a certain cutoff? Yes, they were not going to spend what Verizon spent. I could tell you guys right now, to close out the video, Verizon was not ready to spend on this premium cost. They were not, especially for the A block. They today filed for a $25 billion debt loan. They were not ready to spend. They did not have the cash on hand. So don't listen to anyone say that. They went into debt for this $25 billion to get this A block spectrum. AT&T was in no position to outbid Verizon anywhere, and it did not happen. They struck a deal on the back end. That's fine and dandy. It's fair. It does give AT&T a leg to compete, but AT&T is going to have to invest massively to combat T-Mobile. T-Mobile has spectrum that's cleared now and is able to be deployed everywhere. There's another auction, 108 2.5. There's another 116 megahertz up for grab. T-Mobile has more spectrum as it stands now than AT&T. They got more millimeter wave as well. So the war has begun. They're going to fight. Competition is well and alive. Forget Dish. They're done. I mean, you spent $2.5 million for what? What did you spend that for? I mean, forget Dish. I don't take them serious. As you see, there's not a single video content about Dish right now. I just don't take them serious. If I start seeing actual markets deployed, then I'll be like, okay, I'll start making some videos on that. But other than that, it's done. So again, today's video, just to let you guys know, it's 45, 24, 9 billion spent from all three. 160 nationwide, 80 nationwide for AT&T, 30 megahertz bought for T-Mobile in strategic markets. Just a roundup, just a summary. More videos are coming. There's a lot to unpack. More podcasts are coming. This is changing the wireless landscape forever. Spectrum in abundance. There's more 3.5, 3.7 coming. Capacity issues will be a thing of the past, in my opinion, here. So let me know how you feel about this in the comment section down below. Look forward to reading your comments. If you are new to the channel, or you have been on the channel and you have not yet liked, share, subscribe, make sure you do so. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when I do upload content. Follow the social media outlets for more updates and interactions. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.